Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. If it's your first time seeing one of our videos, I'm Carrie. I have this channel with my husband Justice, and this is our son Wren. We just make family vlogs and videos about our son's medical condition called arthrogryposis, which we talk about more in our first video, which you can go and watch if you want. Today's video is just going to be his whole entire it's all about him. It's going to be his whole entire Okay, so today's video is going to be all about Wren's birth story. So let's just get right into the video. We found out that I was pregnant on July 23rd of last year. I had been feeling pretty sick, but we didn't think that I was going to be pregnant, but we decided to take a test anyways. And we were pleasantly surprised because it was positive. After we found out, we both got really emotional and so excited. So we went and we got cinnamon rolls, because funny thing about me and Justice, we always go and get cinnamon rolls anytime something good or exciting happens to us.
So,
cinnamon roll time.
I may as well do it in this one.
And you know why? Why are we celebrating cinnamon rolls this time?
We're pregnant.
We're having a baby.
So the pregnancy started out going pretty normal from there. We just went to our doctor's appointments as normal, and we found out that we were having a boy on October 8th, 2019. Okay, are you ready? So me and Hannah are ready. Okay. Okay, just stab it. Just don't stab it. Don't stab Karen. On October 31st, we went in for our 20-week anatomy scan appointment. And throughout the ultrasound, the technician started getting kind of quiet, and we were kind of concerned, but didn't know if anything was wrong or not. And she ended up asking me to just go to the bathroom and said that she would be right back. When I came back, the doctor was there, and I didn't know what was going on, so he just asked me to get back up, and they started doing the ultrasound again. And the doctor ended up telling me that he thought that our baby had clubbed feet. Then he told me that I needed to go to maternal fetal medicine at the hospital to get a higher tech ultrasound to confirm that there was clubbed feet, and just to make sure that there wasn't anything else wrong. The next day we went into maternal fetal medicine, and before the appointment we had just thought, okay, they're either going to tell us he has clubbed feet or that he doesn't, and we had told ourselves that if he does, we're just going to be positive about it. We know that it's something that's fixable, and we were just really trying to go in with the positive, right mindset. After the ultrasound, the doctor that came in kind of just started spitting out all these different medical terms at us. He talked about different things that he thought the baby might have, some which were very serious and scary, one of which was trisomy 18, and he told us that babies that have that don't end up living very long. So it ended up being a really hard day, and we went home just very down and we both pretty much cried the whole entire day. A few days later, I went in to go and get a blood test done to check for extra chromosomes. It was to check for extra chromosome 18, 13, and 21. And the next few weeks after that were pretty hard, waiting for those results to come back. A few weeks later, the test came back negative. And so that ruled out trisomy 18 and the other chromosome disorders. Even though we didn't know for sure what he had still or what was wrong, that was a good day because it meant that most likely he doesn't have something that is fatal. After that, they referred us to go up to Primary Children's Hospital in Salt Lake City, where we met with a high-risk OBGYN, neonatologists, a support group called Rainbow Kids, and a lot of other people. And we got a ton of information. At that appointment, the doctor told us that what our son has is called Arthrogryposis Multiplex Congenita. She told us that other things could be wrong and that there were a lot of tests that we could get done, but we ended up just deciding that the best option was to just wait until he was born to see. And from there, we just kept on going to different appointments up there every few weeks to check up on him. Every appointment, the news kind of seemed to be getting worse. We could see that he had a lot of contractures in most of his joints, and his bones ended up getting so thin that we could barely see some of them on the ultrasound. They were really concerned about his breathing because sometimes arthrogryposis can really affect diaphragm and breathing because of low muscle tone and different things. But the good news was he was getting the hiccups, which meant that he was getting movement in his diaphragm, and we did see his mouth move up and down a little bit. He also ended up turning head first, which was good news because they did not expect him to be able to do that. We ended up doing a planned C-section because that was the safest way to go, because his feet were clear up to his face, and because of his small bones, there was going to be a high chance of fractures during birth, and so a C-section was going to be the best option. So on March 12th, 2020, we went into the university hospital to have our baby. We went into the hospital pretty early in the morning and got prepped for the surgery, and it took a while. And then at 10 a.m. we went into the operation room. The room that we were in had a window to the NICU to be able to pass Wren through as soon as he was out. I was allowed to have 2 people in with me, so I had Justice and my mom. I remember just feeling so nervous and scared about what might happen, and not knowing if he was going to be okay or not was really, really hard. The whole time I was just trying to listen to hear him cry, because they told us, you know, if we hear him cry, that means he's breathing and that he is most likely going to be okay. And they said that they most likely won't be able to show me him before they pass him through the window because they don't know how stable he will be. But if he is stable enough, then they would be able to show me him. And after a while, I heard him. It was just the smallest little cry. Just for like 5 seconds, they really quick were able to show me him before they passed him through the window, and he was just perfect. We had to wait in the recovery room while they performed a procedure where they put a line in his umbilical cord to for his glucose and to put sugars in and different things. after a couple of hours, Justice was able to go see him, and then I just had to wait until I was out of the recovery room too. And then they wheeled me in my bed to be able to go and see him.
And that was the happiest moment ever.
When they wheeled me in, I just was so in love with him and so excited. I thought that he was just the most perfect thing that I had ever seen in my whole entire life. Before he was born, they had told us that we might be shocked when we first see him because it's just going to be a lot different than what a normal baby's body would look like. But I really didn't end up feeling that way. I just thought that he was perfect, and I thought every single part of him was perfect. And I was just so happy that he was okay. He was 5 pounds, 12 ounces, and 47 centimeters long. Thankfully, he didn't end up having any fractures like we were worried about when he was born. The biggest issues were his feeding and his breathing. He ended up having to be in the NICU for 12 days. He at first was on a high flow of oxygen, humidified oxygen, and they slowly weaned him down to a low flow of oxygen. He also had to have a feeding tube for a while, but after a few days I got to start practicing breastfeeding and then bottle feeding, and he just slowly got enough strength to where he was able to eat all of his food without needing the feeding tube. So after the 12 days, he was eating good enough and breathing good enough that he was able to be sent home. He was sent home just on a low flow of oxygen that we had to have him on at home. The day we brought him home was the happiest day ever. We put him in a little onesie that had Rocky on it to show that he was our little fighter. And here's a little video clip of us right when we brought him home.
I'm so happy. You're home, baby. I love you so much. Oh, okay. You're home. How does it feel? Looking around your new house?
Bringing him home was really emotional because before he was born, we didn't know whether or not that was going to happen. And if it did happen, we didn't know how long it was going to take. But it ended up being a lot faster than expected. And he has been the happiest, best baby in the whole world ever since we brought him home. After 2 weeks at home, we were able to take him off of oxygen, and he has been breathing well ever since then on his own. So now his life is just a lot of appointments. We go to Shriners Hospital, and we go to occupational therapy, physical therapy, and it's really hard sometimes, and it's not the funnest thing ever, but he is getting better every single day, and that's what this channel is for, to continue to watch his progress and to just remember all the special things that happen. So if you want to continue on Wren's journey with us, then like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video.